back to the normal meditative state, which is kind of watching the thoughts, sometimes struggling, sometimes anxious, sometimes angry, sometimes, yeah. But I had this momentary freedom of this amazing peace and this amazing depth of understanding. But it's not permanent. So yeah, my advice would be to not be upset with yourself if you find that you have a kind of awakening experience. You are on this path, you are learning and growing and developing and understanding so much more about yourself than before. And then you kind of spiral back in and you get into some negative cycle, or you get into a bad relationship with someone. That's been one of my really biggest teachers. To me, the relationship side of things is the most challenging area of life, and the area where you can really, really see where your patterns are still there, what still needs to be worked on. So yeah, not to be discouraged. It's very much a spiral path, but within that spiraling out and spiraling in, I think you're always slowly growing and elevating and awakening. Like, you're not slipping back down, you're just slowly expanding and growing.
Yes, I agree with everything that you just said, especially the spiraling aspect of it, and the contraction and the expansions that come with it. It's like an ever flowing change. I'd be interested to know what some of your greatest challenges on your awakening path have been. You did mention relationship has been one of the greatest teachers, but would you consider that to be your greatest challenge, or have there been other challenges that you've had to face along this process of new awarenesses coming in?
Yeah, definitely. I'd say relationships, definitely one of my greatest challenges and teachers. So yeah, I've always had in mind that I want this kind of I want to experience this kind of perfect love, this blissful, perfect, harmonious, romantic, loving relationship. And yeah, I guess that one of my greatest teachers is recognizing how challenging that really is. First, to be the kind of person that can experience that myself, and then to be able to find the kind of person that's able to support and harmonize and grow together in such a relationship. I think it's I recognize now that it's much more rare than I ever realized before, that it takes a lot more work than I ever thought, both self-work and work on the relationship. And it takes a really lot of discernment in being able to choose the person. And often, of course, our still unhealed patterns, our unhealed patterns from our childhood, from our relationship with our parents, from maybe generations back, is what is choosing that person. It's not our healed conscious self. So that's definitely one of my biggest challenges. Another big challenge for me in my life has been around money and abundance and getting that flowing in my life, because part of this whole awakening thing is recognizing that it's not actually that important. So I do think it's a paradox. Money's not actually that important, but it's also needed. And to be healthy, you need to have financial stability and, basically a secure financial support base. But at the same time, I also recognize that money is not real. What is real is food. What is real is a house, a floor, something you can touch, relationships. And that is what truly supports my life. And so I've had many amazing experiences where I've kind of been traveling the world with like very little money. And I always actually get supported. I'm always supported. I always have what I need. I've actually sort of done those experiments half on purpose, half not. I think in order to basically test the universe, test to see if okay, does the universe have my back? I'm going to kind of basically make a test, make a trial, see what happens if I wander through the world with no money.
Yes.
survive.
One of
Damn,
my
I hope.
mantras throughout this awakening process has been spirit will provide what I need when I need it. And that's not always in alignment. The when isn't always in alignment with my ego's interpretation of when I need it. But yes, things show up as you
Yeah,
need them.
yeah,
That's neat that you set up little tests because sometimes cultivating faith that something's going to be there for you when that, proverbial next foot, there's going to be somewhere for you to step. You're stepping into
yeah,
nowhere, and then okay, I've met the perfect person that's going to provide me with shelter, that's going to provide me with an opportunity for a job, for something, or food.
yeah.
So
And it always works.
it does, yes.
Always. So
Yes,
that's an
it's
experience.
trauma mind that says there's going to be nothing there.
Yes,
Uh,
yes, yes. So that's been, I guess, one of my really big challenges as well, just kind of balancing that paradox of knowing as a spiritual being and as a person on this awakening journey that I'm always taken care for, that everything is always okay, that everything always works out, that I always have everything that I need, and also at the same time being financially responsible and taking care of myself and working on that, building that material foundation of my life a bit stronger and a bit more stably.
Yes. So that kind of segues into my next question, which would be, what have the greatest blessings been for you on your awakening path?
Wow, so many. I guess some of the really greatest blessings have been all of the people that I've met. So all the teachers that I've met on this journey. I have met so many amazing, beautiful human beings who have really supported and helped me and have sort of come into my life at exactly the right time. When I broke up, I had a brief relationship with someone about 10 years ago, and he broke up with me, and I had a very massive heartbreak experience, even though it was quite a brief relationship. And I ended up on a inadvertent kind of 3-month journey around Asia, so around mainly Thailand. And I went to visit many different centers, monasteries, and retreat centers. And yeah, I just met so many awesome people. One of those centers was it was called the Anahata Mystery School. It was in Pai in northern Thailand. And beautiful name, Anahata, the heart chakra. And it was set up by 2 Australian teachers, sort of counselor. The man was a counselor, the woman was a yoga teacher. And their mission in this mystery school was really to help people understand the nature of the heart, the nature of love, what is love. That man had actually written a book called What is Love? And I'd read his book in another retreat center in Thailand in the south. And his book was what took me to his mystery school. So yeah, I stayed with them for a week and got really amazing support and really understood much deeper levels of this quite strong heartbreak trauma that I've been through. And I really got the download about that thanks to them. So yeah, people, I guess, have been the biggest blessing. Then, of course, the teachers in the original Vipassana retreats. And since then, I've been to quite a few other Vipassana retreats around the world. All of my yoga teachers, I've had many amazing yoga teachers in Australia, in Spain, in India, in Bali. And then what are other blessings? I think the blessing of deeper and deeper levels of trusting myself, of being brave enough to follow my heart's dreams, no matter how old I am, no matter if my mind says, oh, you're really too old to do that. So for example, I made an album. I'm a musician. I made my first album about 4 years ago. During the COVID, actually, during 2020, I was meant to have some retreats here in Bali. That was all cancelled. And so I dedicated the year 2020 to making my first albums. That was always a dream of mine from childhood. And so I wrote my songs and I produced my album with the help of my amazing producer in Malaysia. So it's kind of a little bit of dance music album. So that's another real blessing of this journey of awakening, is just learning to really trust yourself and follow your inner heart's desires. There's my cats.
Lovely. Where can people find your music?
So they can find my music on Spotify under Akasha Love. YouTube also has quite a lot of my songs on it. They can buy my album from Bandcamp, akashalove.bandcamp.com, and Apple Music as well. All my songs are there. Since that album, I've also released recently 2 new songs. So yeah, that's a big part of my journey, is just manifesting, bringing out my creativity. And I think if it wasn't for this awakening path, it would be much harder to do that, because I'd have this voice that says, you're crazy, you think you're a musician now in your 40s. You know, people do that in their 20s. It's too late. Yeah, but I don't listen to any of those voices, even if they come. I just follow my heart, and I pull out all those things that are meant to come out of me, let's say. And I guess another blessing is just being grateful for everything that happens in your life. I know that's many people say that, and it sounds really easy to say, and it can feel really painful if you're listening to this and something really painful is happening in your life right now. And I'm saying, well, be grateful for it. You can be like, oh, but that's another big learning on this journey, is just recognizing that every single thing that happens in my life is my teacher. Doesn't matter how painful it is, doesn't matter how hard it is, doesn't matter how much I just wish that wouldn't happen. It's all there to teach me. It's all there to help me to grow. And I have to be thankful for it in the end, because if it wasn't meant to be teaching me, it wouldn't be in my life. Everything comes into my life for a reason. So I think, yeah, having that basically underlying attitude of gratitude for everything is
I
really,
think that's very important. A lesson that has been difficult for me to learn on my own awakening, because we push away the undesirable emotions and the situations and get frustrated with them. And it's in learning that there is so much magic in the nasty stuff, in the that we'd rather not experience. We'd rather be in this constant state of bliss. But that's denying all of the learnings that come with the darkness. And if we don't go into the darkness, we can't appreciate the light when we get it.
Yeah.
When you started talking, you had talked about how specifically you want to focus on women, and you're impassioned by women in this. Can you expand on that and tell us a little bit more of your perspective in regards to assisting women through their awakening? How do you see your role for that?
I guess just particularly, I mean, it's the most basic part of that is just, I've been a feminist all my life. I've grown up in a patriarchy. I still live in a patriarchy. Patriarchy is real, and it is, women are really entrained in a way to serve the needs of others. And while serving others and being in service to others is wonderful, and I think that's a good thing, it should be a choice that we make as women or as people, and not that we kind of brainwashed into our whole life. We're brainwashed into kind of trying to keep everybody happy and trying to meet people's needs and trying to help and love and care and everything about everyone else. So I think that's a big part of the brainwashing of the patriarchy, is kind of has brought women up to to think that they're sort of a little bit here to serve. And so I want to help women to basically grow out from that brainwashed pattern and realize that we have to serve ourselves first. We have to take care of ourselves first. We have to put the gas mask on ourselves first. We have to love ourselves first before we can really show up in service for anyone else. So if you're trying to show up in service as a healer or a yoga teacher, a meditation teacher, to other people without taking care of yourself first, without really tuning in to yourself, without really standing up for yourself, without really asking for what you need, you'll find you just getting into states of anger and resentment and you're not going to be very good at doing that job. Yeah, you're just going to be pissed off basically. So
absolutely. I think it even extends, you don't even have to be a healer